Hello and welcome back. It's been enough of a break that I've gone from t-shirts to jumpers and scarves. It's really cold in my house. It's been a while, and it would have been easy to just not return. But I made a pledge to myself that I would remain visible in small doses across winter. So here I am. Each Wednesday from here forward, I'll be here to share the first page of one of my stories from my collection, This Once Precious Life. I do this with the assistance of Marcy. Marcy has the remaining story titles in there. We randomly choose one. This is completely and utterly unscripted, unrehearsed, raw and imperfect. If you've been here for a while, you will know that these videos have also come with an update about Lilith, the banded, the banded. Oh, I keep wanting to say abandoned. The banded huntsman, about the size of my hand, who moved in with us a couple of months ago. And in the last video, I said she'd gone, she'd disappeared. It turns out no, she's now living underneath our couch. My partner discovered her sitting there when he pulled the couch out to do some painting work around the window. So we are now living in hidden blind harmony with Lilith, and she's living her best life because she feeds on cockroaches. So she's doing a great job of dealing with anything that crawls or flies into our house. So, without further ado, let's get a story. What do we have here? Oh, we have Elyora. Elyora is my novella. It was written, first draft, most of the first draft was written in a rabbit hole event that the QWC ran in 2012. So Elyora is actually 12 years old this year. The idea of the rabbit hole event was to write 30,000 words in 3 days. I came pretty bloody close. I think I wrote about 27,000 words, and then came home and finished it. The Review of Australian Fiction offered to look at any short stories or novelettes or novellas that came out of that event, and the wonderful Leslie Hulme, who curated that special edition, chose Elyora. And a little way down the track, Elyora was also shortlisted for Best Short Horror in the Aurealis Awards for 2012. She then went on to be published digitally by Endeavour Press, the first digital first publisher out of the UK, under the name River of Bones. And yes, so it's nice to have Elyora in print in its original state. When it was published as River of Bones, they actually made me write a new prologue. They marketed it as crime. It's actually Australian Gothic horror. So that's a bit of the background. Let me find the page. 173. If you'd really like to continue on with Elyora after this first page, it's available on Amazon, the entire thing. So here we go. Jo watched Benny out the corner of her eye, hands strangling the steering wheel, eyes shifting between the endless stretch of highway on the GPS screen and the Elyora 4-kilometre sign on the opposite side of the road. A semi-trailer roared past, rocking the van and blasting hot, gritty air through the window. "I say we confer with that Jesus," said Hal in his best evangelical voice as he reached between Joe and Benny to tap the spring-mounted dashboard Messiah. The question you seek, the Buddha knows, choose not that Jesus. I told you, Benny snapped. It was on the dash when I bought the van. Joe started folding the strip map of the New England highway. Elyora's not on here. Benny snatched at it, and it tore in two. You destroy everything you touch, she spat, and threw her piece at him. Why don't we just turn around, Hal suggested, pulling on his beanie serious now. This was obviously a bad idea. No. Benny and Joe whipped around to scorch him with matching death stares. We vote then. Joe and Hal raised their hand in favour of keeping on the highway. 2-1, Hal said. Benny snorted and threw the torn map into the footwell. The Tarago's tyres bit into the gravel, and the van bumped onto the tarmac, stopping several metres up the highway. Joe jerked around in her street to face him and snarled, "What are you doing?" We voted. Anyway, that's it. Actually, and that's kind of cool because I was with my partner and I went to New South Wales on the weekend, and we travelled along that stretch of road that inspired the setting for Elyora. And when we go past Ben Lomond, there is always this argument that Elyora is this way, and I'm like, no. If you read the book, they turn right. Anyway, we found a road that neither of us have ever noticed before that turns right. We didn't turn down that road. Everyone knows you don't turn down the road to Elyora. Anyway, that's it for this week. If you'd like to read ahead or if you'd like to finish reading, you can get a copy of this in its physical state from me on my website, jodicleghorn.com. That is JODICLEGHORN.com. Or you can find the collection at your favourite e-retailer. That's it for this week, and I will see you next Wednesday.